we go. All right, and I'm live in color. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy King Gay, bright and early. Well, not exactly early. It's actually, technically speaking, it is 12:06 over here where I'm at. There, noontime. It might be morning for some people, but yeah, 12:06 here. But yeah, about as bright as early as I'm getting up for the day, say, because of last night. Yeah, this like I say, this kind of a surprise stream. This was unexpected, even for me. But like I say, I did notice, and anybody who was watching the last live, who may have watched the last live stream to the end, or maybe you're seeing it on the replay, and then about to take a look at, and then anybody who's watched on the replay and now watching this one on the replay, probably like, huh, Gabe, you didn't seem like you seem like you got to chapter 6 and you was going so you sort of sound like Charlie Brown's teacher. Well, yes, I was getting kind of sleepy there. Not like I say, this the it's not the book that was doing it. It's just I done so much yesterday, work, and had to say it was having to pick up some things after work. They're running around. Then, of course, had a full course dinner meal, say, which the compliments of my lovely wife. She put her foot in it. Yeah, but you know what they say, when you eat a good dinner, it does kind of make you drowsy. But it wasn't just the dinner alone. Like I say, it was all I've been through yesterday, and also even before yesterday. Like I say, just dealing with stuff between work and here. So uh, all part of life. Like just things in life. But we're here. Like I say, it's all part of, like I say, it's just the way life be. Sometimes you got to work around it. Do what you can. That's why we're here. Sometimes you have to do things unexpectedly. And sometimes you have to, as they say, sometimes I don't, a lot of time I don't always like to do the spur of the moment. I'm just being honest, but sometimes you have to do what you got to do, even if you don't like it. That's another lesson of life. Sometimes you have to do some things in ways you don't like sometimes to get it done. So yeah, it's like I say, and yeah, especially after you learn some lessons too, even as an adult. So like I say, yeah, it's just all part of it. And like I say, EJ, I know you probably gonna be watching this replay soon. And they say, I know you say you're gonna keep going, but yeah, like I say, so yeah, we both keep going. Like I say, it's probably gonna, as they say, no matter how rough we get, we're gonna keep on going, just like we're doing now. We both pushing one another, as well as our close friends of ours are pushing us. All of us, the Miracle Crew, we all pushing one another to do our best there. And so like I say, yeah, that's one advantage of having, even if it's just a few, like they say, when two or three get together in prayer, great things can happen. So yeah, we're gonna get into this, and also and also because I was getting drowsy, when I ended it, yeah, okay, I always say like, share, subscribe, and all that. Yeah, I didn't even do that completely right. Uh, so yeah, before we go into this, and I will do it again at the end. Like, share, subscribe. Definitely again, like, share, subscribe. Those are things you can. Those are everybody can do that. There, you don't even need a penny to do that. There, everybody can do that. No matter as long as you got YouTube and you're in a YouTube account, yeah, you can easily do that. Your friends, they can do the same. And but if you're in a position, get some of our available books, and even give us, a little bit of extra support that you can. Make sure you take care of what you need to take care of first before you do that. So, like you say, you got bills and stuff like that. Take care of that first. I had to do the same thing. There's content creators I'd be wanting to endorse there, but I got to take care of business first before I do that. So, yep, dude. Like I say, that's my message to you. Make sure you take care of your business so you keep your house in order. Then about a buck, let's say $1 or $2 on Patreon. Hey, we'll take that. Let's say $1 or $2. As they or a little more if you just want to. And be sure to check that title list so you can see what your pledge will get you. Just like Iceman Universe, even his show his channel some love too. Reacting to Hey Arnold, One Piece, Naruto, and Ed Nettie. And also support us. It also helps support us as the Miracle Crew, Queen Tina, Big Sis Casey, and EJ the Supreme. Yes, all of us together. Put our hand together just like they do in Yu-Gi-Oh! With that mark of friendship that Taya marked them with. It's a symbol of our friendship. Oh, what gives, Taya? He'll know. Yugi will know that we're always right there with him. We got a mark. We didn't exactly draw on our hands like the way Taya did, but we got a mark of friendship too. As we can still put our hands together when in physically or in spirit. So we supporting each other. So support us as well. Just like you hang out with us in the live streams, also hang out with us in Discord. Both me and EJ got Discord accounts, so you can find out where. Like I say, we're kind of the two of us sort of seem like the most active with the with YouTube and the Discord there. Just the the most out of the group there. As far as running the YouTube and the Discord, also Facebook. Facebook that we be there too. And let's tell each other some stuff on that McCary app, just like where I've gotten a lot of my Transformers from. I say this, I know I got a few other toys, but mostly my Transformers have come from that McCary app. Except for a few that I may have to go elsewhere, but majority of them from the McCary app. So most of my Beast, my Transformer Maximal and Predacon collection there. So all right, so without further ado, let's get on into this. As I say, broad daylight. Had a little breakfast there. Very very nutritious, by the way, with the clementines and a healthy energy drink with some vitamin B and plenty of water. And kind of cheated a little bit with some Jolly Ranchers before breakfast. Yeah, just a few. I didn't not a whole lot of them. Just a few that was sort of while I was waiting on breakfast is all. That was kind of sucking on them. So not too big. I wasn't eating like a big bag of M&Ms or something. So little small cheats. So. And it's like gotta be honest in these live streams, and just honest in general. Yeah. All right. But one thing about it, when you're definitely doing anything, any kind of business, even if it's not this, any kind of business, make sure you're honest, because if you're not honest, your clients aren't going to trust you, and they're not going to want to support you if you're not honest. Huh. All right. Oh, okay. I know about that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, enough about that. Let me turn this down so I don't get any copyrights from my text or ringtone there. It's a text and a ringtone. I am not trying to market anything from Disney as my own Mickey Mouse. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got our eye on you, Gabe. We're watching you. Okay, cool. Yeah, keep watching me, Mickey, and here's some of my book while you're watching this. All right, so we're gonna like I say, be sure if you hadn't seen the first live stream when I started reading this, be sure you check that out, the replay of it before you. That way, because I'm starting at chapter 5. I'm not starting at the beginning. I'm starting at chapter 5 because chapter 6 is I think where I started to go out. So I'm starting with chapter 5. Kind of, I guess you could say like part 3 split into two. I guess part 3A and part 3B, but I just called it ending redo. So yeah, make sure if you hadn't, check that out first, then come back here. That way you can get the rest of the book fully alert and no mumbling. So. All right, chapter 5, the battle in the storm. So, of course, in the last chapter, Brian was talking, trying to communicate with Sword Girl through that through that little helmet that made him look like Professor X and everything. And Sword Girl was like, look, Ring Boy, I don't need your help. You are your little star friend, so just stay out of my business. So, yeah. So, Sword Girl stood in front of the Napa Kappa, staring at him more angrier now than she was before. I will avenge my honor, she said. And of course, yes, as I mentioned in the last stream, yes, I did put what she said in Japanese, and then I put the English translation in parentheses, so readers wouldn't know what she was saying, and also learn some Japanese there a little bit. But I'm just going to read y'all the English in parentheses to, so I don't save from mispronouncing any of the Japanese writing there. And yeah, also to make it a little bit easier. So I'm reading the 4Kids version of the book. say, Mr. Kaiba, on your feet. Mr. Pegasus would like a few words with you while we point our fingers at you. Oh boy. Just as she drew one of her swords, she sensed a presence. Okay. You must be the one that caused the destruction of the Grambling Napa Kappa, said a voice. There was a silence. A Sword Girl slowly turned around and saw KO and his ninja army. During the silence, more lightning flashed and thunder rolled, creating a thunderstorm with heavy rain, especially in the forecast. Meanwhile, an image of the ninja army flashed in Brian's mind, causing him to wake up. Brian! Exclaimed Samuel. Are you all right? Almost make me think of Jackie Chan episode we just watched this morning during breakfast when Uncle woke up because an image of Uncle slapped Uncle. One more thing. Ow! Hey! So, Brian took the helmet off and said, "Yeah, I'm fine, but Sword Girl might be in danger." "Where is she?" asked Samuel. The Napa Kappa in downtown Shreveport," said Brian, "with an army of ninjas, and they don't look too happy to see her." Yeah. "Well, let's go then," said Samuel. And they held out their watches at their activation codes together. Star transformation activate. Target transformation activate. And went through their whole transformation process, yada, yada, yada. Just sort of skimmed that small little paragraph. And after that, they flew through the storm to the scene. Sword Girl began her battle with the Kappa Clan ninja army. "Kappa Clan attack! Formation A!" commanded KO. Almost like the Digimon Emperor in the Japanese version of Digimon Adventure 2, when how he commanded the Bakamon. "Formation A! Formation B!" The ninjas charged at Sword Girl. She teleported into the air above them, but one of the ninjas appeared behind her, slashed her back with his dagger. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. And rammed her down with a forceful kick. Before Sword Girl hit the ground, she caught herself and tried to levitate back up. However, two ninjas quickly threw a couple of tiny balls at her from each end. When they hit her, the tiny balls exploded, releasing large amounts of poisonous gases. Ouch. Man, these guys are fighting dirty. Sword Girl hit the ground, coughing and starting to get weak. She tried to fight it and teleport in front of KO to strike him with her sword she had drawn earlier, but he knocked her with a dagger. She teleported another sword into her other hand, another sword into the other hand, and tried to strike him, but he caught it with the same way as the other one. Sword Girl began to get weaker, but refused to give in. Her vision started to fade in and out. Okay. Surrender now or face defeat, said KO. I will never surrender my honor to you or to anyone who dares to take it, said Sword Girl. She teleported her daggers behind KO, aimed to strike him, or like Renamon's Diamond Storm attack. Then so be it, said KO. Just then the daggers came at KO. However, the daggers went through KO, revealing he was an illusion, and struck Sword Girl in her arms and chest. Oh, and I was I forgot to show that picture before the fight started there. Mm-hmm. And this is what just happened now. Not looking good for Sword Girl there. Ouch. Mm-hmm. There was a long silence for Sword Girl. There was a long silence for Sword Girl was unable to shout with the shock of the pain from the daggers and the slow heartbeat from the poisonous gases she inhaled. Oof. Man, that they say she was unable to shout. That, and they say I haven't been doused with poisonous gases before, but I did have an incident on my job once, where it was kind of my fault too, a little bit there, because I should not have. I had my hand in a position this really could have been avoided, but yeah, sometimes we make some dumb mistakes, myself included. But I had my hand in the wrong position, and the jack I was moving into this bale whammed into my hand. My hands are still here, but I was this close to losing my hand, but because it bashed my hand pretty bad. And when I went to Yale, nothing came out of that. And I remember one of the receiving clerk in the back, she saw it, like, Gabe, because I didn't, because like I said, I couldn't get nothing out, and I just, in my state of shock, I quickly ran to the front of the store looking, for our, this was like years ago, for the man up to the front to get some first aid there. Man, I got up there, the manager who was in charge then, she was like, "Oh my goodness, Gabe! Okay, we gotta get you man. Yeah, we gotta get you man. Come on. It got me better, and even got me to the doctor to get I had to get like a tetanus booster or something like that there. Let's say, but yeah. Oh boy, went from like I say, bless her heart, that she went from manager to, and they say like a mother when their child gets injured there. I guess that's what I say. God bless her. Bless her heart there. So the daggers fell to the ground. After that, Sword Girl fell on her back in the middle of the daggers and fainted. The real KO stepped up to Sword Girl, drew his sword, and pointed it at her and said, "This is your end, Sword Girl." And now we go into chapter 6, where I was starting to get drowsy last night there. Also, one thing I want to note, there's probably going to be some others, but from the beginning of this series and this universe, this involving like Sword Girl's introduction into the Heroes of Dream universe, Sword Girl always seemed. I think her story inclusion into like the Star Trek series and also this one always is always kind of the darkest of any of these universes there because of what what she got going on there. Yeah, so this was kind of the darkest of the series there in the beginning stage there. Um, Sort of like how in the Disney movies Pinocchio is the darkest story there because Pinocchio is not because the original Pinocchio story is pretty dark and also also not just a story but even the person who wrote the story too. Be sure if y'all want to find out more definitely look that up there. Or you can ask me in the comment section. I won't mind explaining for you there, but just throwing that out there. So okay, what happened in Pinocchio? You can ask me in the comment section. I'll let you know if you want. Chapter 6, Sword Girl's Past. Just as KO raised his sword to strike Sword Girl, star spinners and target boomers rained from the sky in a flash of lightning. One of each, a spinner and a boomer, hit KO's sword, knocking it out of his hand and exploding with the rest of the spinners and boomers. Star quickly flew in, kicked KO into the entrance door of the Napa Kappa. That's quite a kick. I guess he got a kick out of that. or if you don't like that, maybe this will be a hit. So then the ninjas all appeared in the sky above Star to strike with their swords together at once. Target showed up, throwing target catchers at all of the ninjas, which shocked them. All upon catching them, then Target came down and picked up Sword Girl on his back. After that, Star and Target flew off as far and fast as they could until they got to an old warehouse. Star took off his cape and laid it on the ground. Then Target laid Sword Girl on the cape and took out a scanner and scanned her body. That was nice of them. Kind of give her a little comfort there. Just as I thought, said Target. What's wrong? Said Star. She's been badly poisoned, said Target, as he took out a drainer with a needle at the end of it, and he raised Sword Girl's sleeve to stick the needle in her arm and drain out the poison. And there's a picture right there. Yeah. And let's say having to aid an injured warrior. Like I say. After that, he said that should allow her to be stable until we can get her to a hospital tomorrow morning. Okay. How did you know he had been poisoned, asked Star? Well, I figured since she was up against an army of ninjas, they'd be using poison in their attacks against her, just like in the ninja movies. Yeah, you got a good point. Target took the needle out of Sword Girl's arm and she started to wake up. Once she saw Target and Star, she jumped back, drew two swords, and went to strike them. Then they blocked the swords, say Star with his Star sword and Target with his Target bow. I told you guys to stay out of my way, said Sword Girl. She tried to teleport her daggers on the sides of Star and Target, but her energy quickly left her, causing her to drop the swords and fall to her knees. She also grabbed her stomach because she could feel the pain from the daggers that struck her earlier. Oof. Okay. Look, we don't want to fight you, said Star. We just want to help you. Sword Girl just glared at Star and said, I do not speak English. And yeah, I know. I know I'm speaking English reading this, but like I say, that's because I'm reading the 4Kids translation there, but she actually would be speaking in Japanese there. So I would imagine if this was like a TV series, yeah, you probably the English parentheses I'm reading would probably be like in the subtitles there. Yeah. So, what did she say? Asked Star. She doesn't speak English, said Target. Better let me take care of this. Target sat down next to Sword Girl and took out a first aid kit and said to her, maybe now you can tell us what's going on with you in that restaurant and we can help you. Sword Girl thought for a moment as Target started treating her wounds and applying her bandages, sort of like in the 2004 Star Trek Target series when special guest Daredevil was getting Sword Girl healed up there. Then she began to tell him and Star about her past, causing a flashback. The flashback started 4 years ago in Kyoto, Japan, at the house of Yoshi and Koji's father, Koshi in the living room. Yoshi's daughter, Julie, Sword Girl's original name, so Julie Yukoshi, was in the room with them. She was 4 years old at this time and not aware of her psychic powers. Koshi entered the room to talk with Yoshi and Kojo. Yoshi and Kojo and their father, Koshi. So here, this is about a few years. So it said she was 4 in this, so about 4 years ago from the present. As you can see, Grandpa kind of still got hair. There's a hair still brown, everything, young Grandpa, as well as Julie's dad that's holding her, and her uncle back there. Uncle don't look like he's too thrilled. Doesn't look too thrilled to be there. And also, you see Julie here. That's one thing because I'm drawing, especially sometime trying to get the proportions right for like the body because I'm trying to draw Julie at 4 years old, in her dad, her dad holding her and everything. So I kind of missed the portion size between her head and her body there. It's sort of a little proportion error there. So I think that's what you would call it, proportion error. So like I say, even the rest of the picture doesn't look too bad there, but I think kind of a little error there on the drawing of Julie there in that picture there. So like I say, even no matter how good you are, sometimes there still might be a small errors in somewhere, Yeah. I had to say, as the top of head say, we all make mistakes. So, okay, here we go. Okay, I'm making. Now you can tell us what's going on. Okay, so he said to them, I have to skip over here to the parentheses. I have decided to retire and give ownership of the Yoko Yuko restaurant to Yoshi, and Kojo will be his assistant. If anything happens to Yoshi and he's unable to run the restaurant, it will go to Kojo until young Julie is old enough to take over. A few weeks later, Kojo retired from the Yuko and flew to China to open a samurai training school. One night after that, Yoshi's house caught on fire. Julie tried to get her parents through the flames, but the house was quickly engulfed. The heat caused Julie to faint, but somehow she mysteriously survived. However, her parents didn't. Julie's survival was due to her psychic powers that started to develop in her. Her fear of the flames and her parents caused her to teleport to an old abandoned shrine. Once Julie woke up the next day, she saw a newspaper that the wind had blown in. She read it. she read an article about her parents' death in the fire from last night. Julie cried a long time after reading it. Then the night that night after her moment of sorrow for her parents, she decided to avenge her parents' death. Julie also noticed an article about some new samurai techniques that Kosho had submitted about multiple sword usage before he left for America. Julie decided to train herself according to the instructions in the article. Before she did, she started to notice the psychic powers that were developing. She's sort of having to train herself a little bit and use them to steal food, clothes, and weapons in order to survive. Sort of like Aladdin, but a little darker there, because not only yeah. So now we know how Julie survived for 4 years there. The 4 years Julie trained with her weapons, which were 5 swords and daggers, along with her psychic abilities. She even taught herself all kinds of ways to use multiple sword techniques in combination with her psychic powers. After her 4 years of training, Julie made her costume They equipped her weapons to it and became Sword Girl. Sword Girl went out through Kyoto, searching for the person responsible for the fire that caused her parents' death. Eventually, she found out that it was Kojo and that he was visiting the restaurants he opened in America. However, he had changed his name from the Yuko Yoko to the Napa Kappa. So now we know how the Napa Kappa came up. That was when Sword Girl went to the Napa Kappa in Grambling, Louisiana, and met Star and Target in her efforts to destroy it. Then the flashback ended. Target had just finished treating Sword Girl's wounds and bandaging her up. Well, that explains the attack on the Napa Kappa, said Target. Hai, which is Japanese for yes, Hai. Okay. Target then told Star a brief summary of what Sword Girl told him in English. Man, that Kojo brother doesn't sound like someone I invite to the family reunion, said Star. I wonder if Sword Girl found him before those ninjas attacked. Just as Target was about to ask, the door of the warehouse entrance exploded. Once the smoke from the explosion cleared, Kappa Blade was revealed standing there looking at Sword Girl with an evil grin. Chapter 7, Kappa Blade's Dark Secret. So now we heard about Sword Girl, now about to hear about this Kappa Blade dude. Now it sounds like the Ninja Turtles. Man, what about that Kappa Blade dude? Who are you? Star asked Kappa Blade. They call me Kappa Blade, he said. Oh, so you speak English? And who are they? Said Target. Then thousands of smoke bombs were thrown in the building and went off, causing the smoke to fill the room. Once it cleared, the Kappa Clan Ninja Army was revealed, surrounding Star, Target, and Sword Girl from left, right, and behind. KO appeared in front of them and said, "The Kappa Clan." Kappa Clan, said Star, Target, and Sword Girl together. That's right, said Kappa. Then he took off his helmet, and Sword Girl gasped when she looked at his face. You are Kyoji, said Sword Girl. And that's him unmasked. And another little, like I say, it's still a good drawing, and well colored and everything. Because like I said in the last stream, the pictures did improve. Starting with this book, and even more so the more I kept doing this. But as you can see, the little error here is that helmet really should be a little bigger, because look at his head size. Or if maybe I made his head and possibly his body a little smaller, to fit the helmet he's holding. Because how in the world would he get this helmet on his head there? So, just a little something to point out there. Mm-hmm. Kappa chuckled evilly. I see you still have not learned English, Julie. Sword Girl glared at Kappa as she asked him, "Hey, where is Uncle Kojo?" Kappa tossed the headband that once belonged to Kojo to Sword Girl, and he laughed some more as his eyes glowed bright blue, and a flash of bright blue light. A flashback was projected to only Star Target and Sword Girl. Kappa made it where the three of them could understand both languages. Okay, well, I guess at least he's considerate. Somewhat. Kappa made it where the three... Okay, the flashback went to a stormy night before the grand opening of the Napa Kappa at the Richmond Hotel in downtown Grambling. At the front desk, the entrance doors opened and the hotel manager looked up as the smoke bombs were thrown inside and went off. Once the smoke cleared, the Kappa Clan Ninja Army appeared in front of the manager. Suddenly, the manager flinched when he felt the point of KO's sword pointing at him from behind. Oh, Kojo-san! Wait, Kojo-san, said KO. You mean Kojo Yukoshi? Asked the manager nervously. This manager was Mr. Mosby from The Sweet Life. You mean Kojo Yukoshi? He's in the penthouse on the top floor, said the manager nervously. Then Kappa Blade appeared beside KO and said, "Excellent, KO-san. Stay down here while I tend to business." "Understood," said KO. Kappa vanished and reappeared as Kyoji on the top floor by the penthouse. Then Kyoji's eyes glowed blue as he held up his hand and used his telekinetic powers to open the door. So he's got psychic powers too. Once it was open, he marched inside to the fridge in the kitchen. He took out a bottle of poison and poured it into a glass of sparkling cider in the fridge. Yeah, talk about dark right there. Oof, this even darker. This it sort of reminded me of Scar with Mufasa, but even darker. So, just imagine if after Scar, did what he did to Mufasa, if all of a sudden, just say if Kovu was Scar's son, and all of a sudden Kovu decided to take Scar out. This looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? Oh, yes, I remember. This is just the way your father looked before he died. And here's my little secret. I killed Mufasa. Yep. After that, he teleported out of the room and reappeared back at the front desk beside KO as Kappa Blade and said, "Now to erase your mind," said Kappa. Well, what is he, the Men in Black now? This time, Kappa's eyes glow white, just like the light from the mind eraser sticks. And the manager blacked out. When the manager woke up, Kappa, the KO and the Ninja Army were gone. The manager had no memory of what happened. The flashback ended. Star Target and Sword Girl were in shock. All I have left is to destroy you three. And nothing will stand in my way of ruling the Yukoshi dynasty, said Kappa, putting his helmet back on. "You're doing all this for a restaurant," said Star. "Not just a restaurant," said Kappa, showing the amulet around his neck from under his armor. "Before Grandpa created the restaurant, he fought in one of the great wars of Japan. He fought it with this amulet that was passed down from the great samurais in our family. Whoever obtains it will become the strongest of all samurai. This is why I can't allow the three of you or anyone else seeking it to survive. So that way nobody will get it from them. Sword Girl stood up and said, only a Yukoshi family member with honor can rightfully obtain that amulet, and you do not have that honor at all. We'll see about that, said Kappa. Kappa clan attack! All about that honor like Dinobot be talking about. And that's the poison in the cider. And there's the amulet there. Yeah. And now at the last two chapters here. Chapter 8, The Honorable Showdown. Target faced off against the ninjas. Star went one-on-one with KO. And Sword Girl and Kappa Blade teleported to the roof to face each other in the storm and the rain there. They clashed their swords fiercely. They also used their telekinetic powers as well. As you can see here. Like ching, 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 ching. Yeah. However, Kappa proved to be stronger, and the pains from Sword Girl's earlier wounds started slowing her down. Eventually, he started overpowering her badly. Meanwhile, inside the warehouse, the ninjas were constantly invading target catchers and attacking his backside every few minutes. Star started off successful sword fighting with KO until KO struck Star's right arm, oh boy, with a surprise dagger. The minute Star flinched from the attack, KO quickly lassoed him with his whip and swung him into target. Ooh, whipped, oh boy. Now they know how Joshua felt in the Ten Commandments with that whip there. Say, you make no outcry, Joshua. You hold your tongue as well as I hold my temper. Meanwhile, it's, oh, yeah, that's right. So the two crashed into some nearby old crates. At that moment, Sword Girl fell crashing through the roof and hit the ground in front of Star and Target. Then Kappa Blade appeared in front of the three. He smirked as he watched them struggling to get up and falling back down. Even with these pathetic friends of yours, Sword Girl, you still fail, said Kappa. Sword Girl struggled to get up quickly and tried to strike Kappa with her sword, but he vanished, and a tank truck from outside appeared in his place. Once the sword hit the, let's see, okay, she struggled to get up. Oh, okay, so Sword Girl tried to strike Kappa. Okay, so once the sword hit the truck, it broke. Kappa appeared inside the driver's seat, laughing maniacally. Then he said, "Nice try." Next, Kappa started the truck up and hit the gas for it to go. Sword Girl quickly grabbed Star and Target and teleported them outside. After that, Kappa teleported the truck above them in the sky. Sword Girl quickly fired her daggers at the tank, causing an explosion on contact. However, it was only a decoy. Kappa quickly kicked Sword Girl from behind in the spot of one of her wounds by surprise. Ouch! And oh boy, and the fact that her and all these explosions is the oh boy, yeah, some heavy stuff here. As she fell, KO appeared and grabbed her, and Kappa took out his sword to strike Sword Girl. You see, Sword Girl, as long as you're the first to obtain the power in any possible way, honor won't mean anything, said Kappa. My father taught me that before I took what he had taken from your father. So now I will be the most powerful samurai in the world, and you'll join your weak family side. Just as Kappa was about to strike Sword Girl, the feelings of rage from the emotions she felt from losing her parents caused her anger to rise. This caused her power level to skyrocket. Sword Girl's eyes glowed goldenrod. Yeah, that was actually the color pencil I was using there too. Goldenrod. See? And she froze Kappa's sword from striking her. Then her powers allowed her to KO and his send KO and his armor flying back into the and his army flying back into the warehouse. Kappa regained control of his sword and tried to strike Sword Girl, but she kept teleporting, causing him to miss her every time. Eventually, Sword Girl gathered every ounce of psychic power she had left for that moment and gathered it to form in the form of a goldenrod sword called the Psychic Sword. So a sword made of pure psychic energy there. She took the psychic sword and struck Kappa into the warehouse, causing an explosion. After the explosion died down, Sword Girl fainted from exhaustion and a loss of energy. However, Star and Target had awakened up and rushed over to catch her, or like Beast Boy and Cyborg did with Raven. So that sword she struck him with was made out of pure psychic energy. So yeah, it's basically so KO is basically being struck with the impact. So yeah, like I say. So I think technically he survived this, but he's gonna need some medic. He's gonna need a medic there. So yeah, I don't think he's gonna be getting back up to try to fight again though. Not at the moment there. Yeah, but also the fact that that sword is made out of psychic energy, pretty much like I mentioned in a video of my Star Trek comic series, um, seven and issue 7 and 8 that didn't get published there, where she actually had she actually was able to create think it actually was explained how she could create items out of pure psychic energy there. So chapter 9, an honorable samurai and an honorable superhero, because the whole theme of this series is superhero based there. So yeah. The next morning, after Samuel and Brian recovered at the BTB agency's recovery room from the battle last night, they went to where Julie was. Hey, how are you feeling? Asked Brian. I'll be okay, said Julie. Hold up, said Samuel. I thought you couldn't speak English. I guess when my intense power level increased after Kyoji had went through my mind, his knowledge of the English language got forced into my mind, said Julie. I wonder if I could do that. I wonder if I could do that in order to learn French and Spanish overnight, asked Samuel. You might want to stick with the old-fashioned method, said Brian. Trust me, you got a brain freeze from eating that bomb pop last week. That was only because Bruno dared me to bite it without licking it first, said Samuel. Psst. Ironic, we actually have some bomb pops here at the house at the moment. Yeah, that we've been eating off of there, along with some other fruit flavored pops similar to it. So yeah, the bomb pops be pretty good though. But yeah, do not try biting the whole thing at one time, because it could give you some brain freeze there. So, yeah, Samuel's not making that up though. So, and also, probably the method of forcing the French and forcing any language into your head. Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, but it just kind of happened with Julie. But yeah, probably wouldn't want to try that on purpose though. Yeah, everybody's mind might not be able to take that there. Only reason it worked for Julie because she has psychic powers there. So yeah, but that would be interesting to learn those languages though. Right, said Brian, grinning. Then Lee and Derek entered the room. I, I see you're all feeling better, said Derek. Hopefully next time y'all let us know what's going on before you decide to run off like that, said Lee. Sorry, said the boys. Is Kyochi still? Julie started to ask. None of the agents could find. None of the agents could find any trace of him, said Lee. Oh, wait, that's okay, Lee. None of the agents could find any trace of him, said Lee. Not even his army, said Derek. However, they did find this. Derek then handed Julie the amulet that Kappa had. Once Julie placed it around her neck, it glowed. I guess that makes you an honorable samurai, said Brian. And now you could be an honorable superhero too, said Samuel. Julie thought for a moment and said, I'll think about it, boys. Yeah, for this universe, yeah, but I make no promises for any universe after that there. Uh might want to take that up with Casey. little fourth wall break there because yeah, in other universes, yeah, Casey was like, no, let's not put no mask on Sword Girl anymore. So yeah, kind of got a little. We know Sword Girl had injuries, but yeah, even Brian and Samuel got a few there. Yeah. So yeah, so that at least we got with that there, and like I say, I know nobody really showed. Because like I say, this was at a spur of the moment, but like I say, I know a lot of people will watch this on the replay. Because I didn't want to leave that undone, and got one person in here. Make sure y'all give a like there before you go. But yeah, I just wanted to get them last few chapters out there to make up for last night. So that way you guys could know what the last chapters were, and what I was, though, with all the mumbling that was going on there. So like I said, I skimmed through the video and I just noticed that, but I didn't see the whole thing just yet. But yeah, that's what happened. Let me show you one. I'll be right back. I'm gonna show one thing before we close out. Be right back. I'll stay right there. Too bad I don't have a footstep sound effect like Crunk from Emperor's New Groove, or New School, or a test pattern or something. So actually tonight. So okay, before I show you, so we'll be back here again tonight, between 8 and 8:30 like usual. There'll be a Bible reading live stream. So yeah, hopefully the Bible reading streams can stay back on Wednesday, because this I kind of like it being on Wednesday more so. But if sometime, I think last time I had to change it to Sunday because of how my work schedule was. But we're back on Wednesday for this week, which is today. So yeah, between 8 and 8:30, we'll be reading again from the Book of Exodus. As soon as I end the live stream, I'll get the thumbnail set up so y'all can see what chapters we'll be reading there. More of Israel in the wilderness and everything. So we'll be doing that. And tomorrow, this is where we'll be reading from here. And I'm gonna, like I say, we're gonna have a little special surprise for tomorrow night's live stream there. Once again, anywhere it's going to be starting anywhere between 8 and 8:30. Make sure we have time to get here and everything. But yeah, you're going to be getting a special surprise with the reading of this book, the introduction of Bubblina in this universe. This is also the first time Bubblina had been introduced in a published series. Like I said, in 2004 Star Striker series, she was called Bubble Girl and was not a mermaid. But yeah, this is after the transition to Bubblina the mermaid. Before, and like I say, this is what she. So you'll be hearing what she's like in the Heroes of Dreams universe before before Queen Tina became like Patty. I forgot that. Let me make sure I get that name right. The director of the Wonder Woman movies, of the Wonder Woman movie from Zack Snyder's universe. There, let's see, the Wonder Woman. Oh, it's misspelled. Oh, no, I got Wonder. Oh, Wonder Woman, Wonder. Let's see. So let's see, 2017 director. Okay, the director. Patty Jenkins. Okay, so yeah, I had it. I think I said that in the last stream, or probably a previous stream. I made a mention of that. But that's kind of what when after matter of fact, Heroes of Dream after because it's June right now, but after August, Heroes of Dream will officially be entering its 15th anniversary. I actually started writing it, the very first book in 2010 of August. So it'll be entering its 15th year anniversary, sort of like Power Rangers did when they got the Operation Overdrive there with their anniversary special, Once a Ranger. So yeah, it'll be the 15th anniversary for Heroes of Dreams. Pretty interesting there. Um, so yeah, that but so yeah, like I say, when I think 2017 was when I started the Star Striker comic series, which was at first meant to be sort of like a comic version of Heroes of Dreams at first. Even and I think I had like a different title. It was going to go well. Actually, no, it started off with Star Striker, but it was a certain. I think I was trying to write the story sort of like more like the MCU style there. Um, but then eventually it just turned into its own thing, which I mean it was, but yeah, it deviated away from Heroes of Dreams into some other things that was not in Heroes of Dreams format. So yeah, that kind of happened, and because of that, originally Bubblina was going to be in that universe, uh, but over time, as I was writing the first six issues, actually the first three, probably somewhere between 4 and 5, Christina took over as sort of pretty much like that's why I call her Patty Jenkins with Bubblina Comics. But she took over, and yeah, like I'm gonna make Bubblina her own universe, and that's how the Bubblina comic series started. So yeah, pretty much that happened. But like I said, yeah, we're gonna. So yeah, but Thursday night, but Wednesday night, which is tonight, Bible reading between 8 and 8:30. Like I said, I'll get the thumbnail together so you guys can see what chapters we're coming from. Thursday night, uh, gonna do it in a very special way, but be not gonna tell you what it is. I want so y'all can be surprised when it happens. Be a big surprise, like a plot twist. But it's gonna be from book 4 of Heroes of Dreams, within Discovery within the Bubbles. Yeah, but the first time that Bubblina debuted in any of my published works before the Bubblina comic series. So yeah, so that's our schedule as of now. I know Friday. Oh well, actually, now unless things change, he'll let you. I'm pretty sure he'll let us know. But as of now, the word so far, the word I got from EJ, he's got some things going on, because remember he's trying new stuff with the channel and everything, and also outside of YouTube, which is understandable because guys got to evolve there and keep going, moving forward. Same with me. But yeah, he won't be live streaming Friday. That's what I know right now, unless unless he says something different when Friday gets here. But if not, he's not going to be on Friday. So like I said, I don't. And Saturday, I don't know what's going to be happening there. But like I say, but if anything happens Friday or Saturday that's different between the two of us, yeah, you guys will know. like I say, I'll let you know, or either he'll, or if he's gonna do something, he'll let you know in the Discord there and on YouTube here on one of our channels. So yep, even if it's last minute, we will let you know. So, but until then, we will see y'all back here tonight for the Bible reading stream, and Thursday night for Heroes of Dream number 4. And maybe, that's why I say maybe. I'm not saying for sure, but maybe a surprise live stream this weekend, if all depending on what my schedule be like, but possibly a surprise. I would say at least possibly Saturday would be possible. If that be, then it'll be book number 5. If not, then hey, don't worry, we'll be back in next. We'll try to be back in next week and continue the adventure. So, and I do have some other content that I'll be getting uploaded and releasing to you guys, so you guys can still see action here on YouTube. There, trying some new methods that I've learned in order to, increase the views on here. So, yep. So I'll definitely live or no live, I'll still definitely have content coming to you guys, regular videos, and I will be working on more shorts too. So yeah, both short and videos will be coming to you guys. So as a matter of fact, I got one short I need to get processed so I can put it out there for you guys. And but until then, we'll see you tonight in Bible reading, and then again on Thursday night. Until then, y'all take care, everybody. Like, share, subscribe. Definitely buy our available books. Hit us up on that Patreon, just like our Patreon pledger, Iceman Universe, and support us, and also support his. And also show some love for him as well. Shout out for him being our pledger and his reactions to Ed, Nettie, Naruto, One Piece, and Hey Arnold, and also support our crew as well. Queen Tina, Big Sis Casey, and EJ the Supreme. All 4 of us together, working like the Scooby Gang there. Brownie's kind of like our Scooby-Doo. So, and also definitely hang out, just like you're hanging out with us here. Hang out with us on that Discord. That way y'all can keep track if, we end up surprising y'all with a spur of the moment live stream. But not just EJ, but sometimes I do it too. I surprised you guys today. So yeah, sometimes that's gonna happen. But that's why we also say Discord and also Facebook. If you can't get Discord, Facebook, or just keep an eye on for us on YouTube. Like I say, even if it's last minute, we still will do our best to keep y'all posted. If we just pop up and do something. So, yep. So, and also let's sell each other some stuff on that Macari app there. Good way to get y'all some extra little ka-ching for selling some of your stuff. So until then, yeah, we'll see y'all tonight and Thursday. Take care, everybody. Peace.